Heidi ho! Come on, people. Hey, Uncle Buck. Here, that's good. Yeah, let's get started now. I'll give it a few more minutes. Sorry, comment. I haven't had a chance to respond to your Patreon comment yet. I will say you can tell that special was late in development, or like late in the series, based solely on how mediocre the big song is. That song is. The last 2-3 seasons. Final season in particular. Hey, Major. Final season in particular. But a couple seasons leading up to it as well. Yeah, the songs have definitely started to suffer a bit. Nope. Just some cream soda. break in sing the theme song from In Living Color. Could only have made it better, I expect. I've started on one of the endings in Cyberpunk last night. Reached the point of no return and started one of the endings. So now I just got to finish that ending and then all the other endings, including going back and doing the alternate path for Phantom Liberty. I was unaware you wanted to say something. Alright, go ahead. Oh, when I let you see you cry? I don't like being seen crying. I mean, I don't think Rainbow Road Trip had me close to it anyway, but I don't want to. I don't like being seen crying. Don't remember how close the Edge Runners finale got me to crying. Oh, the finale, the final episode of French's Magic, the My Little Pony French's Magic finale. Yeah. Because yeah, that shit hits hard. The final musical number? Fuck. Yeah, I get a little teary-eyed. I get a little misty. I get a little misty-eyed sometimes. Which is the most I ever do. I never have, like, I never actually have tears, like, down my face. Yeah, even when I watched the, even when I rewatched the, French's Magic finale. No tears down my face, but definitely, like, eyes teared up and had to blow my nose a few times. On Boohoo? No. No, I never get Boohoo crying. I repress my emotions too much for that. It is hot today. Did not like going to the grocery store today. Too fucking hot. Too fucking hot. Fucking hot. I did not buy freezies. They don't really make that much of a difference, I find. They don't really cool me down that much, I don't think. Well, guess no one else is coming in today. They're from that. They are, and they are satisfying. They're good, but yeah. So yeah, Shelly's the only other one who actually enjoys me playing this one. Buttercup. So what day are we on here? 12/11.
リスもう
So, the meeting with Nina, we've seen this already. Don't know if there would have been any other, any change in the dialogue, because we haven't been, hanging out with Torta.
Osoi. あるへの返事。もう、何？せっかく待ってたのに。
Forney upset because we didn't,
その日が来る。ありえ。
if you want to make sure that, yeah, nothing. Nothing new in that letter.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all stuff we've seen before. So Shelley really not going to show up in time for me to continue the actual story. Sure Buttercup would enjoy this fast play. Yeah. Yeah. Skip through everything. That's what Buttercup wants. Wandering in the general direction of the old wing, I was stopped by Torta.
Chris, ちょっといい?
Chris, do you have a moment? Huh? Yeah, what's up?
ちょっと気になってることがあって、今時間は大丈夫?
There was something I wanted to ask you about, but are you okay for time? Yeah, sure. Even if I went straight to the old wing, Lise wouldn't be there. So it didn't matter where I passed the time. I sat myself down and waited for Torta to speak.
最近ちゃんと練習してる?
Have you been making sure to practice recently? Yeah, somewhat. I had been practicing, although it wasn't practice for the graduation recital.
そっか。先週はあんまり練習室では見かけなかったから。
You have 2 likes and I haven't pushed the like button yet. there are 6 or 7 people watching. So, yeah, I got 6 or 7 viewers, even if 2 of those are you. Even if 2 of those are you. Yeah, that's still 4 or 5 people who can push like. People who probably just like anything that they, I'd imagine there are people who just automatically like videos they watch. To help with the algorithm. Oh, okay. I didn't really see you at the practice rooms last week, so I was wondering. I know, but I've still been practicing.
それならいいんだ。でも、誰と？
That's good to hear, but who have you been practicing with? A girl in the first year, from the vocal course. It wouldn't have been a good idea to hide it from her. It was a big if, but if Lisa and I ended up performing the graduation recital together, Torta would be hurt if I didn't tell her beforehand.
いつの間にそんなこと知り合いになったの？
How did you make friends with someone like that? It was just by coincidence.
でも1年生か。どんな子なの？
But a first year, huh? What's she like? She's quiet.
歌は上手いの？
Is she a good singer? I think so.
なんか歯切れが悪いね。まあいっか。いつか会わせてよ。
You don't sound so sure. Oh well, introduce me to her someday. Yeah, why not, if the opportunity arises. Responding in this way, I actually thought that perhaps this would be good for Lise too. Torta was a third-year voice student, and it might help Lise with her confidence if she was to receive acknowledgement from such a third-year student. Oh, actually, what about today?
今日？
Huh? Today? We haven't made an agreement to meet, so there's no guarantee we'll see her.
私は大丈夫だけど、その子は大丈夫なの？
That's fine with me, but what about her? That's a good question. She can be pretty shy, but perhaps it'll be a little easier for her to talk to you, since you're her senior in the vocal course.
なんだ。あんまり反対しないんだね。
I was expecting you to be a bit more against the whole idea. Why would I be against it?
1年生の可愛い子と私に隠れて会ってるイメージがあったから。
I kind of imagined that you were meeting this pretty first year and keeping it a secret from me. That's some imagination you've got there. Anyway, she's still in class at the moment, so either way we're going to have to kill time for a while.
そっか。ならしばらくここにいようか。
Oh, in that case, shall we just hang out here? Sure. I'm gonna get myself something to drink.
チョコラータお願い。
I'll have a chocolata, thanks. Chocolata. I'll have a chocolata, thanks. Alright. The time passed by quickly while Torta and I chatted. The bell rung out through the school, and it was now the time that regular classes for first and second years would finish. So, shall we go? Oh, sure. Torta drank down her chocolata, which she had been carefully sipping away at slowly, in one big gulp. That was already becoming solid, wasn't it?
冷えても美味しいんだよ。
Yep, it still tastes great when it's cold. Answering cheerfully with a response that wasn't the one I had been hoping for, Torta then stood up briskly.
じゃあ行こうか。
Okay, let's get going. Heading into the main campus, I was able to spot Lise from behind, as she must have been heading to the old wing too. Oh, that might be her.
ああ。でも、どこに向かってるの？
Huh? Ah, but where is she going? The old wing. Let's catch up to her.
うん。
Okay. Hey, Lisa. Calling to her, I tapped her on the shoulder from behind. Waiting for Lisa to turn around and say something, I noticed that she was about to run off without even looking back. Huh? Before I knew it, I had grabbed her hand.
話してください。
Let me go. Sorry. Upon hastily letting go of her hand, Lisa finally looked at me and made a surprised face.
先輩。
Hey, sorry about that. I didn't mean to grab your hand like that. It's just you started to run off and...
いえ、こちらこそごめんなさい。先輩だとは気づかなくて。
It's okay. I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry.
We were both apologizing to each other, but there was something that I couldn't help but wonder about. Would she have just run away if it hadn't been me? And why? I wondered if she had friends who would make playful jokes like that. But seeing how frantically she was apologizing, I was unable to ask anything. You can stop apologizing. More importantly, I brought a friend with me today. I introduced Torta, who was standing behind me, unable to keep up with what just happened.
あ、どうも。声楽科3年のトルティーナです。クリスの友達なんだけど。
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Chris's friend, Tortanita. I'm in the 3rd year of the vocal course.
Before Torta could even finish introducing herself, Lisa had begun to tense up and moved back as if to hide behind me.
あの？
Sorry. Apologizing to both of them. I then spoke in a tiny voice that only Torta would be able to hear. I told you she was shy, didn't I? Torta, now realizing what I had meant, nodded somewhat confusedly.
突然ごめんね。ちょっとそこまで歩いてきただけだから、私はもう行くね。
Sorry to suddenly show up like this. I just happened to be passing by. Anyway, I'd better be going.
すみません。
I'm sorry.
Holding onto the sleeve of my uniform, Lisa meekly apologized and then went quiet again. Was Lisa like this the first time I had met her? I had a feeling that it was even worse when we first met, but recently we've been spending a lot of time together, so perhaps it was just my imagination.
一応あなたの先輩だし、何かあったら気軽に相談してね。
Well, I am your senior after all, so feel free to talk to me if you ever need help.
Torta kindly told this to Lisa, and then quietly mouthed some words that only I could hear.
Very similar.
じゃあ、練習頑張ってね。クリスのパートナーは大変だろうけど、ポルテールの腕前だけはそれなりだから。
Okay, have fun practicing. It's probably hard being Chris's partner, but the one thing you can depend on is his ability to play the fortel.
The one thing? Really? I barely responded, and that was all I had. Watching Torta head off as if nothing had ever happened, I couldn't help but think about the meaning of what she said. It was true. Lise was probably very similar to Ari. Similar to Ari when she was in her worst state.
あの、
Oh, sorry, I just thought it might be good for you two to meet, since Torta is your senior in the vocal course and all.
ごめんなさい。
I'm so sorry.
About what? I don't think Torta minded. Anyway, let's get going to the music room.
はい。
Okay.
Even after arriving at the music room, the expression on Lisei's face still hadn't changed. Seriously, you don't need to worry about it. It was my fault for suddenly bringing her anyway.
そうじゃないんです。
That's not it.
Come on, let's just do an ensemble. I had the feeling that things weren't going to improve if we kept talking like this. I got my fortel set up quickly and played a first chord. I wasn't expecting her to suddenly start singing with a smile on her face, but Lisei continued to just look at me with the same expression on her face. Is something wrong?
パートナーって、その...
What did Tora mean by partner?
Ah, you're a first year, so no wonder you don't know. So, in March there's a graduation examination coming up, and since I'm in the Fortella course, I have to do an ensemble for that examination. One with vocals, that is.
でも...
But...
And besides, Tarta was just getting the wrong impression, so don't worry about it. However, it's just about the time that I have to make a decision about who I partner up with, and since I said I've been practicing, well, I suppose it's natural that she got the wrong idea.
Nara, どうして私なんかと練習してるんですか?
Then, why are you practicing with the likes of me?
What Lisei said was unusually frank for her. Truth be told, Lisei may have been right. But the way she said the likes of me bothered me. Even so, I had kind of been thinking that it would be nice if I could end up having you as my partner. This was probably a lie, but it became the truth the moment I put it into words. I hadn't spoken of it because we'd only done ensembles once together, but I was thinking of asking you about it eventually. Of course, I wasn't going to try and coerce you or anything, just if you were interested, you know. For Lisei, who was incredibly shy, this was probably all too sudden. As if she were some monster. More like as if she's like, you know, I'm unworthy. I'm just a measly first year. Yeah, she doesn't think of herself as anything special. For me also, it was something that I only thought of right this moment. I brought up something else as cheerfully as I could in an attempt to avoid talking about this anymore. But more so than that, I'm just really enjoying our ensembles at the moment. Why don't we put the partner thing aside for now and do an ensemble? You're not enjoying the ensembles, Lisei?
いえ、そんなことはないんです。
That's not true.
Not today?
いえ、
No, we can't.
Thanks. I'm all ready to go. How about you, Lisei?
私も実習で歌ってきましたから。
Me too. I sang in class earlier, so...
Great. In that case, let's get started.
はい。
Yes.
In the beginning, Lisei still seemed a bit bothered by what had just happened, but after rehearsing for an hour or so, she appeared to be feeling a lot better. Now she was singing happily again. Oh, she looks very pretty when she smiles. brings life into her. I could really tell that Lise loved singing. I also really felt that she needed an opportunity to show that to an audience. It didn't have to be my graduation recital. Anywhere would have been fine. But there had to be people to hear her sing, and people to acknowledge her ability. If it were this ensemble that people were to hear, I was sure that the majority of them would be impressed. Doesn't look like she's about to crap herself. Yep. Okay, we're done. Yes. She sang with all her heart, and once we had finished, she seemed almost embarrassed when she nodded in response to me.
今日は
About today. It was fun, huh? Can we rehearse again sometime?
はい、もちろんです。ではなくて、
Yes, of course. But that's not what I...
You can tell me tomorrow.
Huh?
Would you mind if we rehearsed tomorrow?
それは構いませんけど。
No, I... don't mind at all.
In that case, could you come by the cafeteria once your classes have finished?
それはちょっと。
I'd rather not.
We're not going to eat there or anything. You only have to drop by, okay?
はい。
Yes.
Thanks. So, shall we call it a day?
はい。
Okay.
Chris gonna break her shell? Seems like he's trying. That, or maybe he'll break her heart. Never know. Saying this, Lise, who still looked hesitant, started to get ready to go home. It wasn't out of the question that she could have an extreme case of social anxiety. But even then, I still felt that Lise needed to sing in public. Even if she failed the first time, she could just try again until she got it right. She was still a first year, which meant she still had over 2 more years to work on it. But nothing would ever change if she just continued to sing by herself here. I wasn't confident enough to think that I could make her conquer her fears. But if there was one thing I could do for her, it was showing her that singing in public could help. Or something south of her. What, you think I'm gonna break her poop? It didn't have to be tomorrow or anything. Could be after she became a second year, or after she made friends with a different Fortel player. I just wanted her to understand that singing in public was one way she could change things. Well, I'm gonna head home now.
私も帰ります。
I'm going home too.
Alright, shall we go part of the way together?
はい。
Sure.
There didn't seem to be that awkward atmosphere that was present last time, at least for now. Relieved that we could walk together like this, the two of us left the campus. We exchanged few words as we walked along one of the main streets. Lise wasn't the only one feeling the weight of the weight on their mind about tomorrow. I felt it too. I chose topics of conversation that wouldn't touch upon that kind of thing, and continued chatting as we walked. Well, I have to turn here. As I spoke, I stopped at the corner of the intersection which led to the old district.
私はこのまままっすぐですので。
I have to go straight ahead.
I see. Well, good rehearsal today.
はい。
Yes, it was.
Don't forget about tomorrow, okay?
はい。
Sure.
Lise responded in a somewhat firm voice. I watched her walk off towards the new district and then headed home. I really wanted tomorrow's ensemble to be a success. Contrary to the weight I had been feeling earlier, I also had such a hope in my heart.
やけに浮かれてるけど、何かあったの？
You're in an awfully good mood. Did something happen?
Nothing out of the ordinary, no. I enjoyed the ensemble with Lise today. But was that showing on my face? Regarding my partner situation, I doubted that Lise in her current state would ever say yes, and I also knew that I had more important things to do. Forney was looking at me quizzically. As for Forney, she wouldn't have been particularly happy with this turn of events, as she was pushing for me to partner up with Torta. Hey, heck! Of course, I knew that she would put my opinion on the matter first. I did an ensemble with Lise again today. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my graduation performance.
それで、考えのあるクリスさんは、どのようにするつもりなのかな？
Well, since you haven't forgotten about it, what exactly do you plan to do?
I'll think of something when the time comes. Great planning. A+ planning there. I didn't want to lie about it. But right now I was more preoccupied with Lise. I was sure that tomorrow's ensemble would be good for her. Just thinking about this, I started to feel that I wouldn't even regret it if I didn't ask her to be my partner for the recital.
Oh well.
Forney still looked like she wanted to say something as she made herself disappear. I didn't feel like I was capable of giving her an explanation that would be any more satisfactory. Because quite frankly, I wasn't able to resist the drowsiness that came from the happiness I felt today. Okay then, I'm going to head off. Alright, see you later. Torta stood up and headed outside. She didn't say a thing about what happened yesterday. Perhaps she planned only to talk about it if I brought it up. No, that's the headset I've been using for months. Like, this is the same one I've been using for months now. I do need to get a new one. This one's cheap and shitty. Judy on Saturdays? What? What I thought was new. Just on Saturdays. Yeah, this is the headset I use for work, and everyone I talk to complains that it sounds like I'm on speakerphone or something. Just like Ari, Torta was also considerate in that kind of way. Phew. I looked at the clock and decided to kill time here until Lise's classes were over. Is that my mom on my mind? I would have had enough time to go to the practice rooms, but I just didn't feel like it. I had played my Fortel a bit in Ms. Cordell's class in the morning, so I didn't need to practice much more anyway. I had learned the song perfectly, so all that was left was to actually go and perform it. The last bell rang out. My fingers moved on their own into the shape they would be when on the keys of the Fortel, and unconsciously played a certain song. I imagined the sound of her voice in my head. It would have been a bit odd if Lisa had seen me like this, so I consciously placed my hand on the table and waited for her to arrive. And then Lisa finally appeared. Even the cafeteria was quiet at this time of day. Lisa peered about nervously and then scampered over upon finding me.
お待たせしました。
Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's okay, I haven't been here long.
そうですか。それで今日は
I see. So, what are we going to do today?
There's somewhere I want to drop by quickly.
寄りたいところですか。
Somewhere you want to drop by?
Yeah, I want more people to hear you sing.
Huh?
Come on, let's go.
さっきのはどういう意味なんですか？
What did you mean just now?
Exactly what I said. Lisa looked anxious as she followed me further and further down the hallway.
それは無理です。
I can't do this.
Why not? I really think your voice deserves more acknowledgement.
本当にダメなんです。
I really can't.
Listen, Lisa. You should be more confident in yourself. It'll be okay, I guarantee it.
でも
But
If you think it's embarrassing, then that's all the more reason to get used to it.
違うんです。
that's not...
I kept going ahead, ignoring most of what Lisa was saying. It wasn't a place that I had many fond memories of, but it was definitely the best place to use if you needed some random people to listen to you play. Many students would constantly make music there, and others would join in if they liked what they heard. It would probably take Lisa a while to get used to the atmosphere in there. But I was sure that she would be fine after we had done an ensemble. And if she could display her true singing ability to everyone, I was sure that she'd receive a wave of praise and applause. At least that's what was supposed to happen. Just give me a moment while I get my Fortel ready. Everyone's gaze shifted to us the moment I opened the door. I suppose they thought some unusual faces had shown up and nothing more. If we started performing, no one would think any more of it. Although, it would be a different kind of problem if people thought nothing more after hearing our performance. Lisa was frozen in place behind me, as always. Trust me, it'll be okay. I'll be ready in a sec. When I spoke to her as I was setting up my Fortel, I noticed that something was even more out of the ordinary. For some reason, Lisa's eyes were tearing up. I soon realized why that was. Huh? The large number of students in the room were all looking right at us. We weren't doing anything that warranted so much attention. My feelings of suspicion grew, so I stopped what I was doing and gazed at what was beginning to unfold in front of my eyes. One by one, the students started to leave the room. And no one was even attempting to look us in the eye. They whispered something to each other and went out through the door almost as if it had been planned. In less than 2 minutes, we were the only ones left in the middle of the spacious Senakolo. What on earth just happened? Suddenly realizing what it could be, I turned to look at Lise. Lise?
ごめんなさい、先輩。
Hey, Brooke.
Chris, I'm sorry.
What is it? What is going on?
私
I...
ごめんなさい。
I'm so sorry.
Lise crouched down into a ball after she apologized. Well, that's kind of adorable. It wasn't that she was avoiding people, but that they were avoiding her? Lise, I'm sorry. I really didn't understand why this just happened. But it was my fault that Lise was crying now. There was no doubt about that. I should never have brought her here. I should have listened to her. Lise, I didn't know anything. And even now I still knew nothing. But just now I had gotten a glimpse of the reason why she became like she was. It seemed she was being bullied. I never imagined something like this would happen at this school, as there were a lot of students who seemed so refined. But perhaps I just never realized because I never got particularly involved with the other students. Yep. No one does bullying quite like classy people. That was easy. Nice. But even so, Lise, let's just get out of here. She was still crouched down into a ball. I couldn't force her to stand up, so I did the only thing that I could do, and crouched down next to her, laying a gentle hand on her shoulder. I was hesitant to do even something as little as that. I'm so sorry. Looking about the room in a state of confusion, I heard the tiny sound of the door opening behind me. Thinking that someone had come back to the Senakolo, I turned around to see someone very unexpected standing in the doorway.
クリスさん、リセさん。
Oh, hey, Val. She seems like she's too nice to do bullying. Huh? Val didn't say anything as she moved closer to Lise, and then spoke to her gently.
大丈夫？
Are you okay?
ファルシータさん。
Lise finally raised her head, and upon seeing me, she turned away.
クリスさん、ちょっと二人だけにしてもらえますか？
Chris, do you think you could give us some space?
Sure. It seemed that they knew each other, and either way, there was nothing I could do right now. Lise probably didn't want people to watch her cry either. And furthermore, I was undoubtedly the cause of all this. Perhaps I shouldn't stay here. Sorry. Please take care of her. And, when I tried to finish my sentence and say that we should talk later, Val cut me off by nodding in a way that showed she already knew what I was going to say.
ドアの前ではなく、食堂かどこかで待っててもらえますか?
Would you mind waiting somewhere that's not outside the door, like the cafeteria?
Sure. When I went to leave after bowing deeply, Val silently nodded to me one more time. Once again, I found myself in the cafeteria, waiting for time to pass. My feelings might have been the opposite to what they were when I was last here, however. I was concerned about the situation that Lise was in. And I regretted my thoughtless actions that put her in that situation in the first place. The time passed slowly, and the long hand of the clock had barely moved since I got here. Despite this, I somehow passed the time, and waited for Val to arrive. It must have been about 10 minutes later. The person I had been waiting for had finally appeared at the cafeteria.
お待たせ。ごめんね、遅くなって。
Sorry to keep you waiting so long.
That's okay. Val sat herself down across from me. Her previously stern manner seemed a little more relaxed now. So, how is Lisa?
今日はもう家に帰るようにいたから。
For the time being, I had her go home.
I see.
でも、どうしてクリスさんがそこに?
But why were you there, Chris?
I wanted to ask you the same thing, but I guess I'll go first. And thus, I explained in detail how Lisa and I had been rehearsing together in the Old Wing recently, and how I had wanted everyone to hear her sing in the Senecolo. I was aware that there were a lot of details I probably shouldn't have talked about. But Val's gentle voice incited me to speak more, and before I knew it, I had told her everything. It wasn't a problem that I could handle alone, and I had a strange feeling that Val might have known something, and that it would have been best for me to talk to her. And that's what happened.
So that's what was going on.
So why were you there, Val?
偶然だったんだけど、ちょうど廊下を歩いてたら、チェナーコロから人がたくさん出てきて。
It was just by coincidence, but I happened to be walking through the hallway near the Senecolo
Or Cenacolo? Cenacolo? Probably Cenacolo.
when suddenly a lot of people came out.
Oh. But you saved the day.
I didn't do anything really.
Are you and Lise friends?
知り合いとは言えないかもしれないけど、今みたいに何度かお話をしたことがあるだけ。
I wouldn't say we are friends, but we've spoken a couple of times like this.
Do you know any details about any of this?
ごめんなさい。詳しい話は私も知らないの。
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything either.
I see.
ただ、あまり良くない噂は聞いたことがあるから。
However, I have heard some unpleasant rumors.
What kind of rumors?
あまり人には言えないようなこと。リセさんを誹謗中傷するような。
Ones that I'd rather not repeat. Ones that would hurt Lise's reputation.
How much of this story is left before the next story begins? So I can't imagine much of the Lise path left. But hard to tell. Yeah, probably a fair bit. I'd imagine there's a decent amount of the Lycée path left. And then we'll have the Foul path, and the Torta path, and then there's another path after that. Spill the tea, Foul. No, I don't need to hear the rumors. Foul looked uncomfortable as she tried to avoid saying anything directly. Something that would hurt Lycée's reputation? I wondered why anyone would want to say things like that about Lycée. I, for one, could not think of any reasons. She's probably rich.
誰が流した噂かは知りませんが、それなりに広まっているようです。
I don't know who started these rumors, but it seems they are becoming quite widespread. Really?
学院の中でこんなことが起こってるなんて。
Who would have thought that something like this was happening here?
It's a school full of rich people, and nobody bullies like fucking rich people. In any case, thank you very much for your help today.
どうしてクリスさんがお礼を言うんです？
Why is it that you were thanking me?
It's just everything today happened because of me.
でもクリスさんと会う前からのことですよ。
But these rumors started before you had even met her, you know?
Val said this to make me feel better, but it was hardly any consolation for me.
リセさんのこと気にかけているんですね。パートナーにでも？
You're concerned about Lycée, aren't you? Are you considering asking her to be your partner for the recital?
A little, yes.
でも彼女は。
But she...
いえ、何でも。
No, it's nothing.
Val, you know something, don't you?
少なくともクリスさんよりはですけど。
At the very least, I suppose I know more than you do.
Could you tell me?
でもそれは。
I probably shouldn't.
Val, have you ever heard Lycée sing?
いえ、ないけど。
Huh? No, I haven't.
She looks happy when she sings. I mean, really happy. And she sings really well, too, but...
クリスさん。
Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
それだけ気にかけてるってことだね。でも、ちょっと悔しいかな。
It's okay. It shows just how concerned you are about her. Although, I guess that is a little frustrating.
Frustrating?
これでも私、クリスさんのパートナー候補だと思ってたのに。ずっとリセさんと一緒に練習してたんだね。
Well, I thought for a while that I was a potential choice as your recital partner. But you've been rehearsing with Lycée this whole time, haven't you?
嘘。悔しいのはちょっと本当だけどね。それでクリスさんはリセさんと話をまたするつもり？
I'm kidding. The part about it being a little frustrating is kind of true, though. Anyway, do you plan to speak with Lycée again, Chris?
Yeah, if it's possible, that is. But I don't even know if I'll be able to see her again. I would probably wait in the old wing for Lycée again tomorrow, too. Although it was hard to say whether or not she would come. Wait 1 minute. Oh, right, it's Tylenol time. We had no Buttercup to remind us of Tylenol time tonight. Alright. Right now, I didn't really care about partnering up or any of that stuff. The one thing that was clear was that I hurt her. If I could apologize or do something for her. In any case, I just wanted to see her and speak to her.
それなら今度の土曜日に会って話をする？
In that case, would you like to see her this Saturday?
This Saturday? And how?
一つ伝言を頼まれてたの。明日は来れないって約束でもしてたんでしょ？
She asked me to deliver a message.
You got the moves?
She said she won't be able to make it tomorrow. You two agreed to meet, right?
That's that song, I got moves like Jagger. Problem is it's not moves like... Problem is it's not Mick Jagger, it's like Dale Jagger. I got moves like Doug Jagger. He's a, he's a drunken uncle who dances badly at weddings. Wayne Jagger? Yeah. Well, we hadn't exactly made a proper plan. But what's this about Saturday?
私のバイト先なんだけど、そこに来るように話してみようか？
If you want, I could try asking her to come to the trattoria that I work at.
You could do that?
クリスさんは彼女のクラスも知らないでしょうけど、私なら会って話せると思う。
I imagine you don't even know what class she's in, but I think I could probably talk to her.
Could I ask you to do that for me?
もちろん。話がつけられたら、お昼にでも食堂に行くね。いつもいるんでしょ？
Of course. Once I've spoken to her, I'll come and see you in the cafeteria. You're always there at midday, right?
Yeah, I'm almost always there after my classes finish.
わかった。詳しい話はその時にでも。私はこれから用事があるから、これで。
Okay, good. We can talk more about it then. Anyway, I have some things to take care of, so I should probably be going.
I'm dying to see Val's workplace. I believe we were actually there. We went there with, Buddy, our buddy, our dude. Our bro. I've forgotten his name. Steve. We went there with Steve or whatever the fuck his name is. It's not Steve, it's like, it's, you know. His name's Italian by way of Japan. But Steve. We did go there once with him. With a nice grand piano in the background. Maybe? I don't remember if there was one. Nepal? I don't think his name's Nepal. I don't remember. I don't remember what the place looked like. Anyway, I have some things to take care of, so I should probably be going. Hey, Fal. Fal stood up and was about to leave. I called out to her from behind.
どうしたの?
What is it? Thank you.
いいの。好きでやってることだから。
Don't mention it. I'm doing this because I want to.
Saying only this, Fal left the cafeteria. I stayed in the cafeteria for a bit longer and thought about what I should do. Have some shots I need to clean up and post eventually. I had the feeling I wasn't going to be in the mood to practice much until the weekend. Of this story. Cool. But I didn't feel that I'd be able to discuss this with Forney either. She'd probably get angry if I didn't try to find a partner for the recital, so I needed to find a good way to kill time. But all of that is an issue for tomorrow. For the time being, all I could do is think about what I should do next. I spent yesterday doing nothing. And I was starting to imagine that I would spend today in the same way.
昨日からどうしちゃったの? これから練習じゃないの?
What's wrong? You've been a bit strange since yesterday. Don't you have rehearsals soon?
Huh? Oh, yeah, soon.
あ、そっか。お相手は1年生だもんね。練習できるまで時間を潰してるんだ。
Oh, right. You're rehearsing with the first year. You have to pass the time until she gets out of class.
10 days before Christmas and not a decoration in sight. Well, they don't have Christmas in this world. They have Natal. Yeah, pretty much. I lied to Torta. I couldn't just tell anyone about what had happened. Torta seemed satisfied with my response, and she soon went home as it was a Thursday. Watching her leave, I thought about what I would do to pass the time.
Yo, Chris.
That's his name, Asino! Hey, Chris. Asino. Asino suddenly spoke to me when I was staring out the window absent-mindedly. You're not going to Ms. Cordell's class today? You've only got 10 more minutes.
俺はこれから講義だって先週言わなかったか?
I'm going to that special lecture today. Didn't I tell you about it last week? Lecture? Ah, now that you mention it.
完全に忘れてたわけだな。 まあいい。俺はこれから行くけど、どうする？
As in, oh, yeah. You completely forgot about it. Oh well, I'm going to head there now. What about you? The lecture, huh? It would probably be a good way to kill time, but I wasn't really that interested. It was at this point that I remembered something which I had thought was strange. I ran into Lise when I was looking at the bulletin board that day. And for some reason, she asked me if I was going to attend the lecture, and seemed relieved when I said I wasn't.
Oi.
Hey. Oh, sorry.
校舎を移動するから、俺はもう行くよ。
The lecture's in a different wing, so I better get moving. Wait a sec, I'll go with you.
お、珍しいな。だが歓迎するよ。一人だとどうも心細くてな。
Oh? What a surprise. But you're totally welcome to come. I'd be a bit uneasy by myself. Uneasy? You? You're kidding, right?
これでも俺は繊細なんだよ。もう一人のお前の友人と一緒にするな。
Despite what you may think, I'm a bit sensitive. Unlike a certain friend of yours. Natal. Natale. Natal. I'll tell her you said that. Anyway, let's go. Natal. With an E on the end. Upon entering the lecture room, I found that most of the seats were already taken, and that the majority of the Fortelicore students I knew were here. And there was someone rather teacher-like at the lectern, setting up a Fortel. He cast a glance at us as we entered from the back of the room, and then returned to his preparations.
わ、もう来てる。俺たち第一印象から悪そうだな。
Oh crap, he's already here. We're already making a bad first impression. As over half of the seats were already full, we found ourselves somewhere to sit toward the back. I guess we should get our Fortels ready?
指示があるまではそのままでいいんじゃないか。みんなはそうしてるし。
I think we can just wait until we're given instructions. No one else is getting it ready. Italian for Christmas? Oh, is it? Ah, well. There were no instructions or anything like that on the blackboard. I guess we just had to sit here and wait patiently, as Asano said. It's pretty quiet, huh? Yeah. Perhaps it was because everyone was nervous, but I could barely find any other people that were talking. Which meant our voices traveled unnecessarily far. Google says they decorate. Yeah. It's a fictional world. Fortunately, it seemed that our voices weren't reaching the teacher, as he never looked up at us. At exactly the same moment that the bell rang, he stood in front of the lectern and presented himself in a dignified manner.
それでは特別講義を始める。
Let us begin the special lecture. Just as he spoke, the door opened and a student I didn't recognize tried to enter. I'm sorry I'm late.
あいつまた遅れてるよ。
Ugh, he's late again. It seemed that Asano knew the student and chuckled as he commented. The student in question tried to take a seat at the back of the room, but...
遅刻をした生徒にこの講義を受ける資格はない。さっさと外に出るよ。
Students who are not capable of being on time are not qualified to take this lecture. Remove yourself from this room. Huh? But the bell only just went.
お前は口の利き方も知らないのか。ああ、それはいい。私が出ろと言ったらさっさと出ろ。
Do you not know how to address your superiors? Very well. When I tell you to get out, you get out post haste. He wasn't angry in the way he spoke, but there was not a single student in the room that didn't feel the disgust or nuance of insult that filled the words that he spat. Looking embarrassed, the student just backed down and left the classroom. Even I could tell that if he had stayed, the teacher wouldn't have given him a chance. Nobility, huh? Actually, Asuna said the teacher was from the highest tier of nobility. By this time, the lecture had already begun to make me sick. From the way he was unable to display any degree of flexibility, and from his intolerance, I felt I had just seen how shallow this person was. Miss Cordell was also quite unforgiving of tardiness. But even then, she would still let the student into the classroom after scolding them, and strictly reminding them not to be late again. At everyone's fault except Grave. Oldest guy in the story, and his name's Graves. Ironic. Yep.
自己紹介から始めようか。私はグラーベ・チェザリーニだ。
Allow me to begin with an introduction. I am Grave Cesarini. You say his dad or grandpa? I would think so, yeah. Might just be me, but I even feel like there's a little bit of family resemblance somehow. Beautifully articulating his name, it was quite apparent just how much confidence he had in who he was.
さて、参加人数を書いておいたはずだが、どうやら希望者が多いようだ。諸君らはもう少し身の程を知るべきだ。
Now, I believe I made it clear how many applicants would be accepted, but it would appear we have too many. You should all be more realistic about your worth to me. The teacher, who referred to himself as Grave, doesn't hesitate at all as he spoke these words. The room broke out into small commotion.
静粛に。では、審査を始める。前に座った者から順番に一人ずつこちらに来る。
Silence! We shall now begin screenings. Those closest to the front will be first, the rest will follow in order. He speaks well. He's nobility. He's had speech training since he was a kid, probably. He spoke as if he barely even noticed the students' reactions to him, and returned to his seat. The student sitting closest to the front cautiously approached him.
名前。
Name. Yes?
自分の名前もわからない者は帰っていい。次。
Those who don't know their own names may leave. Next.
二度は言わせるな。次の者も遅いと失格にする。
Do not make me repeat myself. If the next student takes too long, they too will be disqualified. Yes, sir. And like this, the screenings or whatever they were continued. What is going on here?
さあな、とりあえず最後でよかったな。傾向がわかる。
Beats me. Anyway, I'm glad we're lost. We can work out a good approach. Why don't we just leave?
バカ言うなよ。
Don't be stupid. I just don't like it.
思っても口に出すな。世の中を渡っていく秘訣だ。
Don't say it, even if you're thinking it. That's the secret to getting ahead in life. I'm only saying it because it's you who's listening.
それと周りを信用するな。これも重要だ。
That and trust no one. This one's important too. Okay. But really, I'm not going to make the cut anyway. That's no relevance. Nah, he seems to just be some dude.
審査とやらを受けるくらい我慢しろ。
You never know. Anyway, just grit your teeth and at least go through the screening. Roger that. It was finally our turn. As ridiculous as it seemed, there was only one student so far that wasn't sent out of the classroom. He is one of the top students and the best Fortell player in our class. I was expecting the screening to involve playing the Fortell, but he was the only student to be tested in that way. There was no one else left besides him and the female student who was being screened at this very moment. Doing the math, I realized that even if Asano and I and she were to make the cut, there would still be too many. I'll go first. Hopefully you'll hear something that will help you. Alright. I had never seen Asano look as serious as he did just now, as he looked at Grave. I stood up and moved closer to the lectern. As far as I knew, that female student was a wonderful Fortell player, second only to this top student who had passed the screening. Just as I was thinking that she would make the cut, she was callously cut down by Grave.
帰ってよろしい。
You may leave. You may leave. Huh? What?
次
Next! I was already disgusted over the whole thing, and when I approached the front, the girl who had just been failed spoke out in protest. I don't understand. My recitals have all been successful, so why... Hack! Welcome! Thank you for joining, Hack. Thank you for becoming a member. The voice in my head was telling her not to hold back, but unsurprisingly, Grave responded in a calm and collected tone.
演奏会私はお遊戯の話をしているんじゃない。これからの話をしている。
Recitals? I am not here to talk about such child's play. I am speaking of things to come. He didn't seem to care about our achievements thus far. But if that was the case, then how can you make such a judgment without even hearing me play?
指だ。
Your fingers. Huh?
指の爪を見ればわかる。綺麗な爪だな。
I can tell by looking at your fingernails. They are most beautiful. What about them?
誰に見せるためにわざわざそんな綺麗な爪をしているんだね。
You have made an effort to make them beautiful for someone to see, have you not? That's got nothing to do with this.
オルテール奏者の指ではない。長く整った爪など鍵盤を押さえるのに邪魔なだけだ。それだけで腕前など弾かなくてもわかる。
This dude's a dick. They are not the fingers of a Fortell player. Long fingernails only obstruct the playing of the keys. From that alone, I can tell how much skill you have, even without hearing you play. Okay, but like, there are people who have long fingernails who can still, like, play instruments very well.
次
Next! This time she said nothing and simply left the classroom. What he had said was correct. I practice a lot, albeit not every day. And because of that, there was a time when I felt that my fingernails grew slowly. That was when I was a child. Now it felt as if they were growing normally, however. Chris Verting. I stated my name and took a step forward.
オーデルのせい。
One of Cordell's students, I see. Saying only that, he then for some reason looked me in the eyes. He had the kind of eyes that seemed as if they could see through anything. I wouldn't say they made me feel fear, but they definitely commanded a sense of awe. It wasn't because he was a member of the nobility or anything like that. I suppose it was a testament to his pedigree, coming from a revered family of politicians. But even if that was the case, I don't think I would ever find myself respecting him. I understood that he was right about what he said. But even so, I wasn't impressed.
一番自信のある曲を弾きたまえ。
Play your best song. Huh?
聞こえなかったのか?
Did you not hear me?
Ah, no, I did. Doing as I was told, I sat up myself at the fortel he had set up. There is a school of thought that the best instrument is the one that you're used to, but this fortel felt so incredible that I could easily have believed otherwise. The smooth keyboard was polished like porcelain, and everything felt as if it was conveniently placed there just for me. Little emojis yet. I need to remove the Lisa LaFlamme one. I need to replace it. I need a new emoji. You said politicians instead of musicians? Oh, did I? Revered family of musicians. Whoops. It was sophisticated in every aspect.
どうかしたのかね?
Is there a problem? No. I barely gave a proper answer, and for a split second was unsure of what song to play. My best song would have been the one that I always rehearsed with Forney. Lise's song came to mind briefly, but that was a song which focused on the vocals. It wouldn't have been the right choice. In the beginning, I had come in expecting not to make the cut, but now I felt like doing something that he would have to admit worthy of recognition. It's party. Pizza party. I was fully aware that it came from a small desire to fight back. But even so, I had no choice now but to play something. I placed my fingers on the keys and played with determination. Finished, I removed my fingers from the keyboard and caught my breath. Red Crew soda you always drink as an emoji? Maybe. If I were to do a self-evaluation, I would have to say that I played well. Grave looked at me as if he was examining me, and then spoke in a small voice.
残ってよし。次。
You may stay. Next! He was no longer paying any attention to me. I considered just walking out. But Asano was already standing right behind me, and he whispered something in my ear.
よかったな。でもまあ、まだ席は残ってるんだ。待ってろよ。
Nice work. But there's still some seats left. You just wait. Alright. For the time being, I sat myself down in one of the empty seats near the front and waited, hoping that Asano would return. It probably wouldn't have been fair on the student sitting next to me, but I had planned to leave if Asano didn't come back.
では、自分の一番得意だと思う曲を弾いてみる。
Now, play the song that you think is your best. I suppose it was safe to say he passed the first trial. Relieved at that, Asano started playing, but Grave stopped him before he even finished the first bar.
もういい。コーデルの生徒だからと思って弾かせてみたが。
Enough. I gave you a chance to play as you are a student of Cordel's. However, he said no more than this. However, from his tone and his attitude, these words were more than enough.
失礼しました。
Thank you very much. Asano did not protest and simply responded calmly. He turned his gaze to me for just a moment and then left the classroom.
さて、今年は予想以上に残ったな。
Well then, more of you remained this year than I had expected. I was unable to not think about what those words had meant, and missed my opportunity to stand up and leave. Did that mean that every year there was only about one person who passed?
今日私が教えるのは、フォルテールとは何なのかということだけだ。
Today I am going to teach you about the essence of the forte. Even after Grave had left the classroom, I was still just sitting there. The other student had already left. What Grave had taught us today was something that like the life story of the Fortel. He taught us small details not found in the history books, the words rolling effortlessly from his tongue as if he knew every detail off by heart. The entire time I had my eye out for an opportunity to leave. However, I found myself incapable of doing so. As much as I hated to admit it, his knowledge was incredible. Actually, not only did he have knowledge, but he was also blessed with a gift for rhetoric. I was drawn into his words, and before I knew it, I had stayed until the very end. The only thing that bothered me was when he repeatedly preached that Fortel players were meant to be proud. I seriously thought about leaving when he spoke at great length about just how much Fortel players had contributed to the culture of the country. But even then, I couldn't leave. Phew. Oh, god damn you. In any case, it was safe to say that I had gained something today. I still didn't understand the true meaning of what Lise had said to me. Grave told us that we would have a practical lesson next week, but I wondered just how much I could learn from him. Even if I was unable to respect him as a human being, I did understand that he was a top-class musician, and had the skills to prove it. Truly unsure of what to do next week, I left the classroom. By the time I realized, it seemed that quite some time had passed. Asino didn't put it into words, but he must have been angry on the inside of what Grave had said. He had already gotten home by the time I got outside. For the time being, I decided to forget about all of this and just focus on what I would do when I met Lise the day after tomorrow. I ate a light dinner and placed my fingers on my Fortel without any real purpose. What had Grave felt from my performance that made him decide to choose me? I doubted that Ms. Cordell would have put in a good word for me, but it seemed that he was interested in the fact that I was her student. Although, I wondered what would happen if he found out that I hadn't even chosen a partner for the recital yet.
難しい顔して、クリスにしては珍しく真面目に練習してるかと思ったのに。
For a moment I thought you were practicing hard for a change. You look so serious. What do you mean, for a change? Wait, that's it! I suddenly had an idea. What would Forney think of Grave's music? More precisely, how would it make her feel? In today's lecture, I was unable to find out how good he actually was, but I imagined that I would have the chance in the near future. I didn't say it out loud, but I thought about it. But it was rather pointless to do so. His name would still be that of a revered family, whether he had ability or not. And would there even be anyone who would believe the words of a musical fairy that they couldn't even see?
そうだって、何か言いたいことがあったんじゃないの?
Didn't you have something you wanted to talk about? You just said, that's it, after all. I was just talking to myself. Don't worry about it.
気になるじゃない。
Now I want to know! Well, I can't really do anything about that. Alright, can I ask you a question?
なんだかすごくはぐらかされた気がするんだけど。まあいいわ。
I really feel like you're just avoiding the subject, but okay, go ahead. As a musical fairy, what is your opinion on the way I play the Fortel?
それは私の意見じゃなくて客観的に見てってことだよね。
You want an objective opinion, not my personal one, right? Yeah, it has to do with what happened today. I told Forney about the events that occurred today. It wasn't exactly a complicated story, but Forney started to think about it, and then disappeared off somewhere. It shouldn't have been such a hard question to answer. Perhaps it was because the events that occurred today were not the kind that I could just ask just anyone about. I didn't really care how I was evaluated by others, but the question still remained. Two days had passed since the lecture with Grave. I heard from Fal yesterday that she had a place that Lisa and I could talk, as promised. She told me briefly about her part-time job last time we met, but I had bigger things to worry about at that time and didn't ask about any specifics. It turns out that on top of her classes at school, Fal also works part-time at a trattoria called Koper, where Asino and I happened to eat at just last week. The same trattoria that I was heading to right at this moment. I suggested at first that a place without too many people might have been better, but Fal chose the trattoria as no one would be able to hear what we were talking about. Another reason was that Fal had to work and was apparently unable to take long breaks. It seemed that she had also considered Sunday, but she took into consideration my wish for it to be as soon as possible. The way she was sensitive to others like that always impressed me. Either way, after 2 o'clock, I was able to spend an hour or so with Lisa, after the lunchtime peak when Fal was able to take a break for an hour or so. I had thought at one point that it would be just the two of us. But I was unsure whether Lisa would be able to talk to me openly, and felt that things would probably have gone smoother with Fal there too. Alright, I'm heading out.
はい、いってらっしゃい。
Okay, see you later. I had told Forney about some of what had happened. I didn't have much choice, as she had been pressing me about the fact that I hadn't been my usual self. I was the cause of everything this time, no doubt about it. Regardless of whether Lisa was or wasn't going to partner up with me, I wanted to make sure I apologized to her properly. And, if it were at all possible, to solve the problems that she was facing.
ほら、そんな暗い顔しない。
Come on, no more gloomy faces. Thanks.
うまくいけば、パートナーも決まるんだね。
If things go well, you'll have yourself a partner. That's not what I'm worried about. Forney's positive words had cheered me up a little. The clock showed that it was almost 2. The trattoria was only a few minutes away on foot, but I left quickly as I didn't want to be late. It took me less than 5 minutes to reach my destination. Looking through the window at the clock inside, I found that I was still 5 minutes early. Fal should have already been inside, which meant that all that was left was to wait for Lisa. We were supposed to be meeting inside the trattoria, but if possible, I wanted to say something to her when it was just the two of us. I heard a familiar voice from behind me when I was peering inside the trattoria. I immediately turned around and greeted Lisa. Morning, Lisa.
おはようございます。
Good morning. It went without saying, but Lisa seemed to be quite composed. 4 days have passed since that incident. Listen, there's something I need to say. Huh? I'm really sorry about what happened. I know it's not much of an excuse to say that I had no idea, so I guess the only thing I can do is apologize. I'm really sorry.
そんな、頭を上げてください。あれは、全部私のせいなんです。
It's okay. Please don't lower your head. What happened was all my fault.
2 p.m. this morning. I know, it's weird. This one seems to be under the impression that, 2 in the afternoon is morning. But it's afternoon. Like, afternoon starts at like 12 o'clock and 1 second. Because that is literally, you know, you got noon and then you got... At that point it's literally afternoon. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. At the very least, I should have asked you first. If I hadn't been so pushy, none of it would have happened.
違うんです。だから、あれは。
That's not true. Like I said,
Lise started to become flustered in the way that she always did. Making her explain herself like this was not what I had wanted. In any case, it seemed important for us to go inside and discuss everything with Val, so that we could both maintain our composure. Lise, let's go inside.
はい。
yes.
Oh, and one more thing. It's good to see you again. It seemed that the peak time had well and truly finished, as there were a number of empty tables. But having said that, over half the tables had customers, and it was far from quiet. It seemed that we wouldn't have to worry about being overheard, just as Val had said. At a glance, it didn't seem that there were any students from school here either.
あ、こっちへどうぞ。
Over here.
So this place does not have a piano. This trattoria does not have a piano in the background. It seemed Val was already on her break, as she was in her casual clothes when she called us over. We sat at a table for four, with Lisa and Val sitting with their backs to the wall, and me across from them.
何か飲み物でもどう？
Would you like something to drink?
Val suggested drinks to us as somewhere to start, I suppose.
いえ。
I'm fine.
Me too.
なら、私だけ何かもらおうかな。
In that case, I'll just get something for myself.
Val shot me an unimpressed look and scoffed jokingly. She ordered herself a cup of coffee and gently pushed a glass of water across the table to each of us.
今日はリセさんのことで話があるんだよね、クリスさん。
Chris, you wanted us to talk about Lise today, right?
Yeah.
なら、私から少し話しましょうか。
In that case, how about I start?
She wasn't directing her question to anyone in particular, and continued speaking before receiving an answer.
私は今までに何度かリセさんがあんな状況になっているのを見かけたことがあるだけ。
They're just ordering. Yep. That's why she's annoyed. Like, well, I guess I'm not getting much of a tip from this table, am I? Order something or get the hell out.
It's just that I've seen Lisa in that kind of situation several times before, that's all.
その都度リセさんにそのことを聞こうとしたんだけど、話してくれないのよね。
And every time, I try to ask her about it, but she never wants to talk.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
でも私はね、その問題を何とかしたいと思ってるの。だから何か話してくれればそこから解決できるかもしれないの。
But I really want to help solve the problem, you know? So Lisa, if you talk to us, we might be able to work out a solution together.
At that moment, Val looked me in the eyes. I also want to hear about it. Now wasn't the time to be apologizing repeatedly. So I responded, taking on Val's words as if they were my own. But But if you don't want to talk about it right now, you don't have to. We don't mind waiting until you feel it's okay to talk about it. It may not have been the kind of problem that could be solved by just talking about it. But then again, maybe it could. I personally did not think so. I can still remember the callous gaze at the students when they left the Cenacolo. In which case, what should we have done? What could we have done? Of course, if you tell us, I shifted my gaze to Fal and saw her nod to me. Fal and I intend to do everything we can to help you. Elise listened to what we had to say, her eyes looking down at her lap. Why was it that the people around her treated her that way? Excuse me. It was true, I had wanted to know the reason why. If we knew what it was, there may have been something we could change. For example, if the reason was something about Lise, then she could change. But I seriously doubted that Lise was the problem. Which meant that it was the people around her that were to blame. But even if we squeezed it out of her, there wouldn't be anything we could do, and by making her speak, there was a possibility we'd be hurting her again. I mean, like... What's the expression? A burden shared is a burden halved? Of course, it was possible that she would feel better simply by talking to someone about it. Exactly. Sometimes troubles were best shared. Sneezes are Egyptian soul snatchers. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have a soul. Get over it, Lisa. Well, no. It's not a get over it situation. Probably. However, it would truly have meaning only when Lise decided to do it, of her own accord. And then... Oh, and also, I hope that we can continue rehearsing in the old way. Huh? I enjoy our ensembles, you know? And she needed somewhere she could go to escape. I had seen Lise singing happily, numerous times. But it was just not right that she was singing on her own, in an empty place like that. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to continue doing ensembles with her there. Oh, speak up.
でも、クリス先輩は。
But Chris, you...
そんなことをしてる場合じゃないはずです。
You don't have time to be doing such things.
That's true.
だから、私のことは気にしないでください。失礼します。
So please don't concern yourself with me. If you'll excuse me.
It was unlike her, but her words were firm and clear. Saying nothing more, she then got up to leave. Lise!
失礼します。
Excuse me.
For just a split second she stopped, but then continued towards the door without looking back. When I stood up to go after her, Fal grabbed me by the hand. And for some reason she shook her head sadly.
クリスさん、今は彼女を一人にした方が。
Chris, I think we should give her some time to herself.
言いたくなければ、今は言わない方がいい。だけ。
If she doesn't want to talk about it right now, she doesn't have to. Wasn't that what you said?
That was different.
リセさんにとっては同じことだと思うけど。でも、クリスさんがなぜそう言ったかは、なんとなくわかるよ。時間が必要だと思ったんでしょ？
I think for Lise it's the same thing. But I think I understand why you said that. You thought she needed time, right?
なら今がその時だと私は思う。
Then, I think that it's now that she needs time.
You're probably right. I repositioned myself in my seat and tried to relax.
水でも飲んだら？
Why don't you have some water?
Doing as Val said, I brought the cup to my mouth. Cold water traveled down my throat, sending a chill into my body. Hey, this is free, right? I don't have to pay for this, right? Because this place is pretty fancy, and I don't have that much money. After settling myself a little, I decided to continue the discussion with Val. Sorry about before. It might have been better in the end if we had just squeezed it out of her.
クリスさんがそう思ったのならそれでいいんじゃないかな。
It's okay, you said what you felt, so maybe it's best that way.
At least they seemed like she was afraid, and I just...
だからいいって。それより少し話を続けようか。
Really, it's okay. More importantly, shall I continue?
What do you mean?
リセさんがあんな風に他の生徒から無視されたりする理由少しだけ知ってるんだ。調べてみたことがあるから。
I know a little bit about the reason why the other students ignore her, and that kind of thing. I looked into it before.
You could go outside and look up and drink the rainwater for free? I mean... Like I said, depending on how his finances are doing that month, that might be what he has to do. But just before, you said...
あれは嘘。多分クリスさんと同じだと思うよ。リセさんの口から直接聞かないとダメだってさっき思ったんでしょ。
I lied, but I think we have the same view on this. If you're going to find out, you want it to be from her directly, right?
最近はよくクリスさんと一緒にいるみたいだったからあなたがいれば少しは違うかなって思ったんだけどまだ無理だったみたいだね。
Since it seemed like you've been spending a lot of time with her recently, I thought that things might have been a little different now, but I guess it was still too soon.
I see. So I guess you were thinking the same thing then.
まあね。
I guess so.
So, what was this reason you mentioned?
私から話していいの？彼女の口から直接聞きたかったんじゃないの？
Are you sure? Don't you want to hear it from her?
Yeah, I guess I do.
だからこのことはリセさんがあなたに話してもいいってそう思った時に彼女から聞いて。
Just wait until she feels that she's ready to tell you about it.
Yeah, I'll do that. But since you know why it's happening...
でもごめんなさい。私には何もできないの。
I know what you're thinking, but I'm sorry. There's nothing that I can do about it.
彼らが別に何をしているわけでもないからみんなあんな風に部屋から出ていくだけ。
It's not as if they're doing something directly to her. They just leave the room like how you saw.
授業中に誰も組んでくれなかったりとかそんな話も聞いたことがあるわ。
Or no one pairing up with her in class. I've heard of things like that happening too.
Why would they... Val only shook her head in response to my question.
とにかく何とかしたいって思っているのは私も同じ。だから今日はここに呼び出したんだけど。
In any case, my feelings of wanting to do something about it are the same as yours. That's why I asked you to come here today.
Thanks.
クリスさんこそ。でもリセさんの言った通り、本当ならこんなことをしている場合じゃないっていうのも本当だけどね。
Until we find out why this didn't. Unfortunately, that will have to wait for next week, because as soon as we're done with Fal here, I will be leaving.
You too. But I have to agree with Lise. This isn't the time for you to be getting involved in this kind of thing.
You mean the partner thing?
うん。クリスさんはどうするつもり？
Yes. What are you going to do, Chris?
I haven't put any thought into it yet. But if it's possible, I was thinking Lise.
やっぱりそっか。
I had a feeling you would say that.
But I guess I can't ask her now with the way things are. I said this in a joking tone, but it was true.
でもそろそろ考えないといけない時期だよね。
But you're going to have to start thinking about it sooner or later.
Fal spoke in exactly the same way Torda or Ms. Cordell would have. I guess you're right.
クリスさんはこれからどうするの？パートナーのことじゃなくてリセさんのこと。
The cliffhangers? I mean, I generally avoid cliffhangers wherever I can.
So what are you going to do, Chris? I don't mean about the partner thing. I mean about Lise.
For the time being, I think I'll go to the old wing again.
そう答えると思ってた。
I thought you'd say that.
Is something wrong? Anticipation is making me wait like ketchup.
でもね、
But
Fal's face suddenly became serious, and she spoke in a firm tone. Anyway, who doesn't like a little bit of anticipation? But maybe the rain isn't really to blame. So I'll remove the cause, but not the symptoms. Old Heinz ketchup ad. Uh,
あなたの恋人はどうするの？
what are you going to do about your girlfriend?
what does she have to do with any of this? Huh? Why did Fal know about Ari? Actually, no, that wasn't the issue right now. Fal was right. Lise was starting to take up too much of my heart. Even if I was part of the reason that Lise got hurt, if I became too involved with her, it was possible that I would end up hurting Arietta as a consequence. And by thinking this, I realized the truth of the matter, that I was getting too preoccupied with Lise. Hey, Lee.
それにね、彼女にはあまり良くない噂もあるの。
Are you? You're a fan of the game? Fun of that, I got a free copy of it. The developers. I'm pretty sure it was somebody from the developer, Kogado Studio. Sent me a code for a free copy of Symphonic Rain, which was wild because I'm a fucking nobody. Like, I have no idea even how they found my channel. Like, I am just an absolute goddamn nobody here on YouTube. I was, like, when I got the email, I was genuinely worried that it might have just been a scam. Like, I was worried about opening it. There's like, is there gonna be a fucking virus on this email? But it was legit. And yeah, it's just a few months ago they sent it to me. I was in the middle of playing a different game, so I couldn't get to it immediately, but hacker's gonna hack, yeah. I opened the link on my phone, yeah. I used my phone to open the link. Figured a little bit less of a risk that way. Yeah, just a little bit less of a risk. Anyway, I am certainly... You came in, like, right near the end of this stream. As soon as I finish this conversation with Fal, I'm actually going to be leaving for the night, but every Saturday. Every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I've already finished it once with a bad ending. Right now I'm just going through the Lycée route.
On top of that, I have heard some rumors about it that were not very flattering.
私は信じていないけど、何の理由もなくそういう噂が流れるとも思えない。
I don't believe them, but rumors like that don't start without reason.
Sure they do. What kind of rumors? Putting the topic of Arietta into the back of my mind for the time being, I was finally able to respond.
私の口からはごめんなさい、言えない。でも前にも言ったように彼女を誹謗中傷するようなものばかり。
Yeah, I don't know why it was a bad ending.
I can't say I'm sorry, but as I said before, they all painted her in a very unflattering light.
Alright, so?
それでもクリスさんはリセさんのためにあの旧校舎に行くの？それに彼女はあなたに一つ隠し事をしてるよ。
So you're still going to go to the old wing for her? There's something that she's hiding from you.
She's hiding something from me? Ah, I guess you can't say what that is either.
Sorry.
This is starting to get kind of complicated. What are you getting at, Fal?
正直に言うとね、これ以上クリスさんはこの件に関わらない方がいいと思う。
To be honest, I don't think you should get any more involved in this than you already are.
Why?
さっきも言ったように、クリスさんはもうそんなことをしてる時期じゃないでしょ。
Like I said before, right now isn't the time for you to be getting involved in something like this, is it?
What do you mean, something like this?
ごめんなさい。でも
I'm sorry, but...
I mean, in that case, what happens to Lisa? Fal is jealous. Hard to say. I don't know if it's jealousy or... I don't know.
私が何とかするから。卒業演奏って言っても私はソロだし、練習に当てられる時間は自由に決められるから。
I'll do something about that. My graduation recital is just a solo performance, so I can decide when and how I spend my time to rehearse.
もっともクリスさんが組んでくれるのなら それもいいかもしれないけどね。
Of course, it would work out fine if you'd just pair up with me, you know? Oh, good night, Hack.
ごめん。そんな冗談を言ってる場合じゃなかったね。それに、それだけじゃなくて、噂のこともあるし、それに。
Sorry, it's not really the time for jokes, is it? And not only that, but there's the issue of the rumors and...
Val started to mumble a bit. The thing that she's hiding, is it important?
ええ。いや、ひょっとしたら、クリスさんにとってはそんなに大したことじゃないのかもしれない。でも、もし他の人だったら、多分止めるように進めるとは思う。
Yes. Actually, to you, it might not seem like such a big deal at all. But if it were someone else, I would probably recommend not getting involved.
そして、恋人のこともね。
And then there's the issue of your girlfriend.
Yeah.
もう一度聞くね。それでもクリスさんは、リセさんに関わろうとするの？
I'm going to ask you again, but are you still going to involve yourself with Lise?
And a choice! We can drop Lise like a hot potato. But we're not going to. Yes. Yeah. I answered in earnest. I definitely need to think about Arietta too. But I could still clearly remember how Lise looked when she was singing so happily. In the beginning, I may have thought that she had a beautiful voice, nothing more. And that I wanted to do an ensemble with her, innocent things like that. But now, I was already involved in her life. And because of that, Lise had ended up getting hurt. I couldn't just go and abandon her now.
そっか。なら、私からは何も言うことはないね。
I see. In that case, there's nothing else for me to say.
Sorry.
ごめんって、何が？
Why do you say sorry?
Because you gave me all this advice and then I...
気にしないで。ちょっとクリスさんを試しただけだから。でもそれならクリスさんに任せちゃってもいいかな。リセさんのこと。
No, don't worry about it. I was just kind of testing you anyway. But if that's your answer, then perhaps I can just leave all this in your hands.
What do you mean?
ずっと気にしてたんだけど、私も3年生だからあまり時間が取れなくて。でもクリスさんがそこまでリセさんのことを気にしてるのなら、もう私の出る幕はないかなって。
This problem of Lise's has been bothering me for a long time, but I haven't been able to find much time for it since I'm in the 3rd year. But if you're that concerned about her, then I was thinking that perhaps I'm not needed.
でもできる限りのことはするつもり。
I still intend to do what I can to help, however.
Got it. In any case, I'll keep going to the old wing to see her. I think the first step is going to be seeing her and actually talking. But I promise I won't just bail out before we reach some kind of resolution.
Good.
Val then looked at the clock as if she had just remembered about it.
もうこんな時間。休憩は30分しかないから、そろそろ戻らないと。じゃあクリスさん、私はこれで。
Well, that was quick. I only have 30 minutes for my break, so I'm going to head back. So, Chris, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, wait a second. I casually took the bill from Val's hand when she was about to head back into the kitchen. I'll get this. I mean, it's only 1 cup of coffee after all. And a glass of
そ
water.
れなら、ここで昼食でも食べていったら？
In that case, why don't you have lunch while you're here?
Oh, because I can't afford... Food I can't afford to eat? That might be a good idea. It wouldn't be fair for 3 of us to be here for half an hour and only have this to show for it. I responded cheerfully, dangling the bill about.
そうだ。最後に一つだけいい？
The bill for the cup of coffee. That's true. Oh, do you mind if I say one last thing? Sure, what is it?
あんまり人を信用しちゃダメだよ。
You shouldn't be so trusting of people. I'm sure Lise's not like that.
そうかもね。私だって隠し事の一つや二つ持ってるしね。じゃあまた。
Maybe, but even I have a thing or two that I'm hiding, you know? Well, see you. Val finished up things with a joke. Thanks a lot, really. Val smiled and shook her head, then went back into the kitchen. I was assuming that Lise wouldn't come to school tomorrow. But on Monday, it was quite possible. Just like today, there was no need to try and squeeze anything out of her. We would just do our ensembles and she would sing the song she loves. Right now, that's all we could do. But if one day she decided to open up, then that was the day I would help her. She works there, her coffee should be free. Pretty sure that's not how it works. She'd probably get a discount. Like, she'd probably get a discount on meals and shit, but... Alright. So you got an extra 20 minutes almost. You got extra time. And, I actually have to go poop now. Glad to end it here because I got a shit. So, see you tomorrow for just, regular stream. And, good night, everybody.